Right now, Erin and I are on a quest to ensure that the viewers are getting what they want. We asked questions and you guys answered. We appreciate all of you. Erin, the questions that we asked were all about relationships, right?
Yeah, and I got this idea from our good friend Ryan Russillo. He just said how much fun he would have on his show when people would submit emails or questions or DMs to him. And he I love him so much. He even talked about after his arrest, people wanted to know if he could offer life advice. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to steal this from you and we're going to do it. Do you mind? And he said, no, have at it. So this week, particularly, we asked people for dating, if they wanted dating advice. I don't know why we became, the gurus on that. But our first question is, do nice guys really finish last? Basically, yeah. Do guys have to be dicks? Okay. Like, what do you think? Go.
All right. So let's back up here real quickly. Ryan Russillo, who's like he is our best guy friend. Ryan right now is in an undisclosed location because he's vacationing by himself. Because this is what Ryan does. He gets in relationships and then he goes on vacation by himself and he goes on this whole rant. So why this becomes hysterical about this question is because Ryan is a really nice guy. And for a while, I thought to myself, could I date Ryan? Because him and I were so close. Well, no, it's not a whoa. These are facts. Him and I were so close. Like, he was truly my best guy friend. So I'm like, why am I not dating Ryan? Like, we're both single, the whole thing. And the reality was Ryan and I are too much alike. We'd kill each other. But to get back to the question, and if Ryan was here and not in an area that had no Wi-Fi, Tulum, then he'd be able to chime in right now. Nice guys, in my opinion, always finish first because I ended up marrying someone that is so much nicer than I am. And I was like, oh, he's so nice. I don't know if I could be with him. But ultimately, I don't want to be with a dick. I've dated a lot of dicks. Okay. And not interested. And it's fun for a while. Oh, you have to chase them and the whole thing. But no, I want somebody that I know is dependable, that I know is not going to cheat on me, that I know is somebody I'm going to be proud to be the father of my children. So yes.
And I keep waiting for my guy to come downstairs as he's headed to the hockey rink. Babe? Nope. Anywho, but I will say that, listen, it's good to have a nice guy. I think my husband's a very nice guy. I don't know really anybody that doesn't like him, but I will preface that nice guy, but knows when to be firm when he's dealing with me in terms of my attitude, being a little pushy, because I can't date a pushover or marry one apparently. So I appreciate that about him. Nice guy, but I need a little attitude in there too. It's you know what? I gotta be honest. It's like a quarterback. You can't just have a nice guy quarterback. You gotta have a guy with a little attitude that's you see that? Look what I just did.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what it is then. Okay, because I'm with you. The person that we marry has to stand up to us because we are very aggressive.
Nice guys
Jarrett,
finish
get in
last,
here.
Jarrett?
Yes.
You do?
Huh?
Wait, the question is, Jarrett, hold on. Jarrett, you won't be able to hear Charissa, but do you think do you think nice guys really finish last? People say would you rather the guys that are dicks always come out as the winners in a relationship?
No.
You're just confused. You're worried about power play and penalty kill. Let's go Los Angeles Kings. Bye, babe. I love you.
You know what?
You got to know. Love you. Have a great day.
First of all, Jarrett, you look great.
Looks phenomenal.
You look great. Yep. You look great. But what does Jarrett say when he's got a good night?
He's worried.
No. What does Jarrett say when I remember the other day we were on FaceTime and I was like, Jarrett, you look great. What does he say?
My husband is he works at part of the development of the Los Angeles Kings and also does the broadcast. And he loves when you talk about his outfit. And I said to Charissa, say that his outfit looks great. And he'll say, it does, right? He loves an outfit.
She didn't even have to prompt me. He looked great. So yes, nice guys do finish first, not last.
All right, here. Next question. What makes marriage number 2 a good idea versus keeping it a long-term relationship?
Well, since I'm the only person here that's been married twice, I'll tell you. Marriage number 1, person was, I got married when I was 26. I went to break up with him. I was at a lunch date with him and I was like really into him. And I was like, I got to break up with him because I'm just starting my career. I can't be tied down, the whole thing. So I went to break up with him and he goes, no, we're going to get married. We went to Hollywood, got ring tattoos, which I've since had removed 11 removals later, and got married 3 days later. We're married for 4 years. He wasn't the right guy, obviously. But
so why did marriage number 2 work out better instead of just being just dating Kyle?
Because I am now 38 years old and I had no reason being married at 26. I will say to anyone that's out there, I think there's like this whole idea. I'll again speak from the I thought that I needed to be married when I first got into this business because I didn't want to be single and be interviewing athletes, because I didn't want to give athletes the idea that like, oh, I was single and this whole weirdness, because there is.
Really?
It's like you have to play that 100%. 100%. I thought that I was more credible being married than I was being single. So for me,
I don't think that's by the athletes. I think that's by the outside people, which really pisses me off. And I see that because they think if you're being nice to an athlete or smiling when you're single or even when you're married, you just want to hook up, which is so wrong, by the way.
There's so many, and this is its own podcast, by the way, which maybe we'll make it one. The question was, why is my second marriage better than my first?
No, why? What makes marriage number 2? Yeah, good idea versus just dating Kyle for a long time.
I'm older. I got married at 38 years old. Like I believe, and this is coming from someone whose parents got married when they were 18. I am a much different person now than I was at 26 when I got married the first time, and that I am at 38. I am so glad that I lived life. I was with the wrong people. I did a lot of bad things. And now, and Kyle will say this too, live your life. And then when you finally meet the person you're supposed to meet, then you can be like, oh, I did it all. So I'm good. So yeah, I believe in waiting to marry the right person.
All right. I think this next question could actually go into the other question that follows it. So we'll combine them. Advice for single ladies looking for a husband. And also, how do you stay positive when all your friends are getting married when you're still single? Like Charissa, well, for my only marriage, I was like 38, 39 when I got married. So everybody in my life was getting married. I mean, I found more in my 20s, and maybe because I grew up in the South, it was such a big deal that I wasn't married. Then in my 30s, I'm not going to lie, there was the pressure of like, shit, am I going to have kids or am I going to be dried up by the time I meet this guy? Then stuff starts getting crazy. Like you get cervical cancer. You don't even know if you can have kids. I mean, that throws a real wrench into it. But I got to be honest, it's like Charissa said, you start getting older and you start being like, okay, you know what? Some random wedding with 18 bridesmaids that are wearing like seafoam green and like, it's not fucking worth it. It's just not. You want to, meet the right person. Now, my husband and I had dated for like 5-6 years before we got engaged. Thank God for Terry Bradshaw, who was like, is this guy going to date you or what? Or is this guy going to put a ring on your finger or what? I mean, this is crazy.
Wait, is he the reason you got married? He put pressure on you? By the way, for the viewers that don't know, or the listeners that don't know, Michael Strahan introduced you to, and now Terry Bradshaw is the reason you guys went to the altar. Is what you're telling us.
Well, why apparently Terry was drunk one night, shocker, in the ballroom, and like talked to Jarrett at some point and was just like, listen, it's not getting better than this, but whatever. No, I just, you know what? Stop putting pressure on yourself.
Your impersonation. No, dude, I'm not going to let you keep going. You did the Pete Macheska, the Jersey accent. You got a Terry Bradshaw, Oklahoma accent. Your accent game is like second to none. What would Troy say about your engagement?
Well, Troy announced my engagement at a Green Bay Packers meeting. Hey, did you hear the news? EA got engaged. So anywho, what I was going to say was anybody that is so stressed out about just stop. That doesn't help. It's like trying to get pregnant. It doesn't help. Just calm down. It's going to happen. Calm down.
I met Kyle. I was on a plane to go do a Danielle Hunter interview. I had a boyfriend at the time, which I knew was the wrong guy. For a year and a half, I was dating him. Erin can attest this. She never even got to meet the guy. That's how weird he was. He went, yeah, exactly. We were supposed to meet at a restaurant. He's like, I'm not going in. I'm like, this is weird. Anyways, wrong relationship. On the plane, I meet Kyle and I was like, oh, that's my husband. And I got off the plane. I told my makeup artist at the time because I was going to meet him. I'm like, Sal, I just met my husband. He's like, don't you have a boyfriend? I'm like, not for long.
But you were asleep the whole time. And that actually goes into the next question, a pickup line on the plane. I was like, Charissa, you were asleep when he was trying to pick you up.
It was a 6 a.m. flight to Minnesota. And luckily, Fox had booked the ticket. So my contract designated that I was in a first class seat.
Love you,
and
Fox.
I was like 6 a.m. And because I knew that the second I got off the plane with the time change, that I was going to have to go straight to do the interviews. So my weave was already in. That was like ponytail. So full weave ponytail, but no makeup. And I sat down and I remember like discombobulated 5:30, last person on the plane, like, what's the flight? Well, what's the seat number? And so I went to put my bag in the overhead compartment, and the guy in which I now know is seat 4. Yeah, no, but the seat before him, seat 4, and I only know that because now 5A and 5B, which was our seats, it resonates. I also have a tattoo of it. The guy in seat 4 was like, oh, you can go in here. And I was like, oh, thanks for the enthusiasm, but I'm actually in this seat. So then Kyle started laughing.
Cute.
And so Kyle got up and I sat at the window, designated seat, whatever, like the window seat. And then we fell asleep. It was a 6 a.m. flight. And
he fell asleep too? You guys slept together your first meeting? What?
Wouldn't be the first time. Whoa.
Mile High Club.
We used protection. We had a mask on.
No, you didn't. It was pre-COVID. When we were just animals.
So the flight's on its descent. The flight attendant goes, 20 minutes, we're going to be at our destination. We wake up and he goes, hey, isn't your name Charissa? And I was like, well, it's Charissa, but yeah. And he goes, yeah, you hosted this 40 under 40 sports business journal thing I was at or whatever. Good to see you. And I was like, good to see you too. And we then talked and we were getting off the plane and we ended up getting coffee together. And I was like, I got to go do this interview. And then I text my makeup artist. I was like, I just met my husband. He was like, don't you have a boyfriend? And I was like, yeah, but that's not the guy I'm talking to. So anyways, 3 days later, I broke up with my boyfriend over the phone and Kyle and I got married engaged 3 months later. So the reality is I had never even sat next to anyone I was interested in. And there you go. So don't worry about if you meet Mr. Right. It should be when it's right now.
Yeah, let it go, Elsa. Stop complaining. Hey, by the way, that slept together joke, the person who taught me, this is a tangent for all days. My second job of my career was with the Atlanta Braves. I worked with TBS. That's when, God love him, Skip Carey was still calling the games with Joe Simpson. We flew back somewhere to Atlanta. He was in the seat next to me. I was too. We both passed out. When we woke up, Skip goes, well, now I can tell everyone I've slept with Erin Andrews. God love you, Skip Carey. He was just so fantastic. Loved him so much. Anywho, okay, our next question is
I need the glasses.
Tips for balancing a heavy work schedule in a relationship.
Jesus. The designate times to have sex. I mean,
that's what Kevin Hart said. It's a hard one. And I think you need all the help you can get. My husband's really good about telling me to put my damn phone away. Our time is our time. We try to make date night. We are, trying to have kids. And that's actually going to put probably a big dent in the situation of trying to figure out this relationship. But look, I want to work. He wants to work. We both love our jobs. We want to get better. We're both putting more projects on our plate, but we love each other so much that we know in order to coexist, we have to be happy work-wise and we have to be happy, happy with our relationship. So we just try to make it a point. Communication too, which is, that's a fun game. Calm Down with Erin and Charissa is a production of iHeartRadio.
For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.